almost.
Yeah, that's true.
There's an Ursa. If it doesn't get banned, it'll get picked up.
I like both of those heroes.
There's a couple good heroes against Phoenix, like to take out the egg. There's
That's true.
the Ursa and Legion Commander right now.
And Meepo.
Yeah.
And Meepo, yeah.
I don't think Phoenix will get picked. There's like very few instances where, unless you're picking it last, it's just not going to get picked. I feel like in a lot of the time.
There's an Abaddon in the pool.
No, I agree with Purge that you should just go with what sounds better. Abaddon sounds way better.
Okay, well, good.
Don't care if it's wrong. Windrunner is still a thing for me, by the way.
That's how
listen, guys.
It's spelled Abaddon. Okay.
But he's not even bad. He's a good one.
That's right.
I'll see you guys later.
We got some good jokes on the couch, everybody. Woo!
You know what I'd like to see, and it's gonna sound weird saying it because you just haven't seen it in a while. Shadow Fiend, which is not a thing.
He's not. It seems like him and TA have been in a lot of these pools, and they're usually top tier picks. But in CD, it seems they're just not really valued at all.
Yeah, and now they pick up Quap over those heroes, which is interesting.
I think Quap's good because there's not that much lockdown, unless you're going to commit to like a Sand King or an Axe.
There's like no Disruptor or anything like that, which would be huge against him.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a Rost. I have a feeling that's one of the better supports in here.
I think Abaddon has to be picked this game. Like, he's too good, right?
Right.
Like, he's good enough in CM, but in CD, he's just...
Oh, yeah. If it was a North American game, he would have been first. That hero is so valued. And I mean, it's a good hero tough.
It's strange that some heroes are just completely ignored in other regions. Yeah. Like, I don't understand why he's not more picked in other regions.
Yeah, like Legion Commander in Europe, even in CM, he's been getting like second, third picked. In North America and China, they don't even consider it a hero.
Okay, every season of Captain's Draft has a hero that comes onto the scene, right? There was Witch Doctor and Centaur in past seasons. I think Legion Commander is this season.
That and Warlock. There's been a lot of Warlocks.
But not in CM yet.
I really love the Warlock picks, honestly.
True, yeah.
But it's also always mostly been core. And people are like, well, what about support Warlock? What do you think about that?
No. Well, okay, you can get away with 4 if you get a Midas, right?
Yeah,
as long as you get a Midas, it doesn't matter.
It's so hard because he's so good at farming. He's so good at trading and sustaining, I think.
Yeah, I think Midas Iron Talent on any 4 support. There you go. Ice Rug just made that.
Speaking of that, there's Tree guys.
Protector. Yeah. Let's go. Come on.
Or we can do the Lifestealer Cheese strat. Okay, looking at the lineups, do you have any good ancient killing heroes? Because Lifestealer is always good against teams with none of that. Gyro's okay late game, but like he has to get he doesn't get that much damage, right? Until like 40 minutes.
There's not really good any good
Ursa's
killers.
good though,
and
so.
Yeah, I mean besides.
So if anybody's gonna get it, it would be Empire. Or not Empire, sorry, Mama's Boys.
This is interesting. I like the draft from both sides. I was gonna say something. I just want to see. I want to have the camera. If they pick Tree and Protector, I want to have the camera on Tree and jungle the entire time, just to see how his jungle goes. Honestly, that's like the most important thing for me.
Yeah. Can we get like hype casting of the jungle? That's what we're gonna be expecting now.
Yeah.
And see the silencer for Empire as they have 50 seconds for their final pick.
This is not surprising. I feel like there's not that many supports in here, and I feel like silencer is. I don't know if he's even that good, though. I guess he's good against Dazzle here to stop Shadow Wave and against the Shallow Grave as well. And, like, Ursa's just going to jump on him and kill him, right? Like, Silencer's just going to die. Like, it's like the Warlock yesterday. He has no way to get away from the Ursa, and, like, unless he gets 4-staff, which he pretty much has to this game, I think. I don't know. I think the Ursa pick again. And this is the team that destroyed Virtus Pro with Ursa. Like, Pycat owned with that hero, so I don't know. I think it's a really good pick this game.
Maybe that's setting themselves up for something else, or they just want a silencer core, because silencer support doesn't make that much sense right now. So we'll see. It's gonna be a Sand King, probably. I guess that might be an off-lane Phobos Sand King.
Yeah, it's gonna be off-lane Sand King and Tusk silencer support duo Quap mid Gyrocop the safe lane probably. I'd be surprised if they were laying it any other way, but.
All right, Mama's Boys. I'm assuming Pycat's can play the Ursa. That's what he's done in the past.
Yeah,
I
believe.
So.
LC
by Black.
Yeah, exactly.
Buying those drums, his favorite build.
I don't know. That was pretty honest yesterday.
I'm not saying it's bad. It's just he always buys drums on every hero.
He does. Every hero. Slark. Just like throw out any hero that he plays, he'll buy drum on it.
All right, so you need like an off lane here then, right?
Yeah. Darkseer was banned out, which I thought was really good. You can go for Abaddon. Phoenix is still available. You can pick Phoenix last pick, although Gyrocopter and Quap are pretty good against Phoenix this game.
I was gonna say Pugna for Sand King, but then I remember that thing's bugged where it doesn't cancel his Nether Ward doesn't cancel the ult or the blink, I should say.
That's interesting.
If that's still a bug, maybe they fix it. Who knows?
There's a
I mean,
couple
Axe is available for the off lane.
Yeah,
You can do any dual lane. Even Abaddon is still there.
yeah, I think it will. I think it will be maybe in the bad. I don't know. It's tough. No, it's the Nyx assassin. All right, cool.
Okay.
There was a lot of good offlaners there, I think, and Nyx is really good. Yeah. Again, this is another hero that's just gonna one of these squishy heroes just gonna wrap around behind him, and all of a sudden, boom, you're dead or something like that.
All right, so with this draft, we will send it over to the casters, Zyori and Purge.
Thank you very much, Suns fan. Mama's Boys versus Empire, ready to get underway here. This is elimination, though, Purge. Loser of the 2 series today, actually, going home. This is the sad part of the tournament where people have to start getting knocked out.
That's exciting, though.
Sure.
I mean, it's already been a good run for Mama's Boys. They already got an upset yesterday. They could do it here as well. I think that this is going to be a pretty even game, definitely.
I think so, too. Yeah, especially with this lineup of Mama Boys, Black, as well as Sexy Bambo. I talked about it on the panel a little bit. Same roster they had yesterday, and they really look to be in good form.
It's kind of an interesting draft for them, too, because they're going to have to be putting in Ursa in the mid lane, which is... You know, at first I was like, maybe they're going to do safe lane Legion Commander like they did yesterday, and they ended up with that. And they also went for a Nyx Assassin on Bambo, and he plays a really good Nyx Assassin. It's good against a lot of Empire's heroes. Very good against Silencer, very good against Quap. Pretty good against Sand King and Tusk as well, just because if you can initiate on them first, then they can't get those defensive measures off. So
yeah, we talked about Nyx Assassin a little bit on the couch yesterday, and this is one of those heroes that can be really deadly in Captain's Draft, and there are limited ways to deal with him, and just a hero that I feel like is often underlooked and can be really powerful if he has a good laning stage. If he gets level 6 in a pretty timely manner, he can really start to take over the game, and I have faith in the Bambo Nyx Assassin.
And a lot of it does depend on how the enemy team reacts to it. If he's doing a good job at creating space, looking for kills, if the sentries are in a position, then it completely changes things if he can get those kills off. So they're going to move into the enemy jungle to start things off.
Yep, and
probably going to be blocking camps. They do have some sentries here on the Shadow Shamans, so double sentry. I mean, they kind of need it in lane as well to deal with Sand King, I guess.
Yeah.
But their tri-lane is quite strong against Sand King. Ooh, they're going to smoke.
5-hero smoke here from Mama's Boys.
I kind of like this because I think Empire's draft is going to be better in the late game, so I think a little bit of early laning advantage would be huge for them.
Yeah. This isn't the best level 1 lineup for Empire. Queen of Pain, Silencer, definitely not the dream. They're going to bump into FN here. The smoke gets broken. Shackles come out from Yapzor. They've got plenty of damage. It's an easy first blood. And it will be the Shadow Shaman that gets that bit of bonus gold.
I really thought they were going to maybe weave around the trees a little bit to approach that, maybe something like this, but they just went straight at him, and the Quap was not watching, and that's a good kill.
Yeah, really nice. Sexy Bambo with an Iron Talent first item with a set of tangos. We might actually see some more action. Bambo walks up to the high ground. He does have a stun, but he gets blocked out by the Ice Shard. Stun on all 3. The Mono Boys trying to get in to help him out, but Rocket Barrage will be there, and it's a dead Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, that was kind of a really big mistake here, because that actually means that the raiding team gets bottom bounty rune now, and before they maybe weren't going to do that.
It was kind of an awkward play. He didn't have vision, obviously, as he poked to the high ground, and he wanted to scout it out, but you know the enemies are nearby. I mean, you just saw them behind the quad.
I mean, I think that's why he ran high ground. He wanted to say, are they here? Are they not here? Because if they're not, then they can guarantee they get both bounty runes. You know, they could leave one person there, grab that bounty rune, and send 4 top. So I think it was a goal to get both bounties. I don't think it's worth dying for it, but either way, they got the first blood. That's going to keep things about equal. They also get a smoke used at the start of the game, so they have slight mid-game disadvantage there.
Yeah. It will be a mid-lane Legion commander, though, something we don't see too often, though. Up top already, Soxka wrapping around to put some pressure onto Havost. There are no sentry wards up here quite yet. Havost has one ready to rock and roll.
Yepzor does.
Put one down.
Yepzor's on the way. He's got sentries. Okay. So I kind of thought that they would put Legion Commander mid against Quap because of the fact that she basically just can't use her dagger. If she throws it on Legion Commander, he just uses press the attack, and then it goes away. So he's just trading mana at that point, and once he gets the bottle, it's going to be absolutely fine. He can keep that up. So it'll just kind of become a trading war, but with the Stout Shield, Legion Commander is not going to have to worry too much. And once he gets overwhelming odds, he can nuke Quap with it and then run after her and chase her and trade hits. You might see a kill here.
Up top, Havost is going to be in a lot of trouble. Yapzor comes in with the Stretch Armstrong Shackles once more, and this time Havost will fall. Pycat getting credit for that one. That rotation, he also blocked this camp down here with that Sentry Ward. So.
There's no way that Stretch Armstrong was the appropriate reference. I barely understand that man, and I'm like 28 years old, so.
That's true. Stretch Armstrong was before our time.
I was like in grade school then. That was like actually 20 years ago. So that's actually really disgusting to say, but that's a fact. 20 years.
So Bambo's going to move into his camp here. Iron Talon first, Nyx Assassin.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, the hero is not very good at jungling in most cases, but if you give him a Quelling Blade, then he can actually do this jungling. And he's got a ton of base regen on the hero. His armor's a little low, but it's okay. So with the Tango, he's healing for 10 HP per second. And he doesn't get that much out of this. He will almost get a level 2. He's going to go back to lane. Maybe try to mess things up a bit, but every bit helps, basically.
Yeah.
And not to mention, just it's nice to have Iron Talon in the late game sometimes, just against if there's a tree in your way, or if Bambo loves Quelling Blades, he used to buy them on people like Bane, just to go hide in trees in weird places, because then your opponents don't know where you are. So I guarantee he's going to use this all game. This Iron Talon is not only going to increase his farm rate, but he's going to use this in smart ways that'll give him tactical advantage later on.
We'll see Bambo taking a lot of pressure down bottom. He does find level 2, so probably get a point in Spike Carapace, makes his life a little easier. But the Tusk has been very active. Funnick's been moving around, checking this camp constantly to see if he can find Nyx Assassin at low HP.
And the important thing that Bambo did here is, rather than just AFK jungle on this medium camp or the large camp, what he did was he farmed it, it respawned, but he moved back to lane. And by doing that, it forces supports to rotate over and spend some time zoning it. If the supports spend at least a little time zoning, that means they're less likely to gank mid. So it may seem like what he did was a little inefficient, and it was kind of, but he also did limit the farm and pressure that his enemy supports could do.
Yeah, Black almost found a solo kill on FN in the mid lane. Habos did rotate in and kind of pushed him back. Soxka's nearby. There's a courier with an empty bottle on it, but they'll put it through the trees.
Yeah.
And it looks like the courier will be just fine, even though it's on the ground still.
Yeah, it's really hard to snipe couriers mid. A lot of teams are watching their map in that area a lot more often. So yeah, Black in the meantime's got 13 CS versus Quap 16, so he's doing just fine considering he's a melee hero. And Legion Commander's base damage is really high, so she absolutely can do this matchup.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right about Quap not grabbing the Shadow Strike. You almost always see her get that against melee heroes, but makes perfect sense here. Is just wasted mana, really.
I just love seeing different matchups like that in Captain's Draft. It's so nice. Like, you get to see Quap versus Legion. It's something that you can do, but if this... Wow, he almost got a kill there. Quap went down to 36 HP with the overwhelming odds. That was incredible.
FN's still farming pretty well, but this pressure is just unreal. There's both supports now just kind of wandering over to try to keep him safe. The offlane's been completely sacrificed for Empire, which means this Ursa is just in free farm heaven. I think Pycat's pretty happy with the way this has been set up.
Well, we'll see if they go for kill mid. Shadow Shaman does have Shackles to level 3. He is going to go for the wraparound though. They'll push the wave here. Pycat's got phase boots, so diving is definitely a possibility. In the meantime, Sand King's nowhere to be found. He's in the enemy, or he's in his jungle. He hit level 3 in the lane, and now he's going to be doing some jungle camps. So,
yeah, I think this is definitely the way to do the Sand King. We saw the offlane Sand King yesterday, a little bit underwhelming, and I think you need to take some personal time in the jungle to get that blink dagger. A Sand King without any farm is just not fun.
You know, one thing that I like seeing about a lot of these weird heroes that we don't see very often is that skill builds are starting to become a lot more standardized.
And down bottom, we're going to see a dive onto the Nyx Assassin. Bambo should be able to make it out after a nice stun. TP rotation from Soxka. Ice Guards almost get him. There's the heal. There's a shallow grave available as well. And Bambo will be okay. No counter kill.
Oh, he did TP to the lane. Is there a sentry in the Yapsor? There is. They could kill Sand King.
They've got a lane ward down as well.
He doesn't have mana for Burrow actually right now. I think they're going to see him coming over, and that's why Yapsor's hiding. He doesn't want to get spotted yet until they can guarantee it.
Black in some trouble. Snowball across from front. Dorian from the other side, but Daz was already rotated over. Heal and shallow grave at the ready. Black is level 6.
Oh, that nuke was good.
Huge damage. Now back up top. Provos gets dove under the tower. Pycat with a lot of right clicks. Huge damage. And Zapzor gives him the other shock to secure the kill.
That was a pretty solid kill there. It's so hard to kill a Legion Commander on the mid lane. He's got 900 HP and a stout shield. And if he's getting slowed in any way or silenced, he just removes, well, not silenced of course, but he removed almost all those nukes and disables.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of movement speed with the overwhelming odds, the regen from the press of the attack. Really hard hero to kill with what Empire have available in this game.
Ooh, one observer ward badly placed here. It's right under a sentry. Not badly placed, obviously, but the fact that there's already a sentry there is a bad spot.
Yeah.
And kind of cool to see what happened there. This is a little bit of metagame advancement with that sentry ward. A lot of times that sentry is placed here, in which case it doesn't catch where that observer ward is placed. So now players are starting to shift the observers over so that they don't get dewarded. But the sentries are also moving over. So pretty soon here, you're going to see people probably start warding right on the high ground here because people are shifting their sentries over. It's really fun to watch those little warding metagames adjust.
Yeah, absolutely. Down bottom, Bambo going to be in a lot of trouble again. Aloha Dance picks up an easy solo kill, just chases him down with Rocket Barrage. And that's it. Aloha Dance will secure level 7. A little bit extra gold going his way.
Yeah, he'll be really happy with that one. But Bambo's getting okay levels. He's 4. He's got 500 gold in the bank. He's died twice, but one of those was at the start of the game, so I'm not too worried about him thus far. 2 deaths on Bambo, completely normal, but you'll see him do good things later despite being slightly shut out.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I was mentioning the Ursa kind of in free farm heaven, but Aloha Dance is in a similar state. They're within 1 or 2 CS of each other, and even though Bambo has been getting some experience, there's not really much he can do to stop Aloha Dance from finding those last hits. He'll get his phase boots up, bring him Aquila, and already has that belt of giant strength. So could be just going for that Sanj first item to get some extra HP. We've been seeing that a little more commonly.
This mid gank was so sloppy here. Like, Avos was trying to move in and go for the burrow strike, but he just kept getting blocked by the Queen of Pain. It actually was not terrible that he did this though, because even if he doesn't get a kill out of it, it's going to put Black a little bit on edge, and he's not going to feel as comfortable going for a kill.
Yeah.
So just by showing himself occasionally and then going back to farm, he loses maybe 15 seconds, but he also makes a Legion commander a little bit more scared about getting last hits. I like little movements like that. It's good.
Yeah, I like how Empire are shuffling their lanes here. Havos now getting some jungle priority. He is level 5, but still pretty far off that Blink Dagger. Only about 750 gold in the bank, and that makes some space for Funnick to go up into the off lane and try and leech some XP. He's still trying to get level 6 for that Walrus Punch. He'll TP mid now, and it looks like we'll see a rotation on the Black. 4 heroes from Empire. The roofed up here about the mid. FN reasonably low on HP, but does have a Sonic Wave. Maybe they can just blow him up if they drop the ultimates. Here we go. Snowball in. TP already on the way. Can they kill him fast enough? Light Shards block him out, but Saksuka's there. He's got a Shallow Grave ready. There's a silence. Sonic Wave will finish off Black. Maybe they can get 2 here. Satsuka on the run. Gordiak with big damage, but Shallow Grave's there. Satsuka will stay alive. No! He goes down to the... Oh, that was a little bit too left.
He got Arcane Curse, so that meant that if he has to cast Grave to live, that means he's going to take more Arcane Curse damage, so an extra 4. So it's like 50 damage before a reduction.
All right.
Pretty good gank. Another weird thing was that Black actually used his press the attack on himself while he was using his regen rune. So he kind of wasted his ability to heal himself, which was actually a pretty big loss because that was right after the fight. And I'm sure they saw him do it because they had the Observer Ward.
Yeah.
So if he would have had press the attack there, I don't know if he hit 8 as he died, but assuming he did, that would have been a total of 200 HP extra there. And he had a 10 charge stick that looks like he was saving for the Grave, but the Grave never came. So I think if he didn't mess that up, he could have lived there.
Yeah. Well, that big rotation from Empire nets 2 kills, but it did leave some space for Bambo to hit level 6. He's going to go back pretty well now and regen up. He's got Arcane Boots, but this is when Nyx Assassin starts being a real threat. Even if he's not actively ganking, if he's off the map, just moving around the jungle, the threat of the Vendetta coming will force Empire to be a little more cautious about their movements.
He's actually farmed very well. He's got 21 CS, Arcane Boots, level 6. He's got everything he needs for the early game, and now Bambo's going to do things where he just stays off the map. Actually, he might even just get the Silencer kill for free.
Yeah.
If Silencer stays by this creep wave, he just dies 100%. If he doesn't sense this now for a Sentry Ward down, he's dead.
Yeah, that's a dire Sentry Ward there that he just walked by, so he knows he was clear coming in. Silencer, oh man, that's an easy kill. Vendetta right into Mana Burn. There you go.
You gotta be looking at hero levels if you're against the Nyx Assassin. You're playing a hero like Silencer. That kill shouldn't happen.
Roche pit. Highcat goes in, but there's a smoke from Empire. They pick up the bounty. They know what's going on. Highcat gets dashed right as they come in as well. No way he'll be able to survive that one. And Sand King will grab himself the kill there, and that, well, he went for Arcane Boots first, so some progress towards the Blink Dagger. Nice gank from Empire, and heads up rotation to catch the Ursa.
It's just so dangerous to do that. Like, I mean, I know they just killed Silencer, but people are going to check Roche very, very often, and I don't like the fact that he did that without his team gripping to push, like, mid lane or something. I think that's the only way that becomes okay to try to go for those early Roches. Yeah. They didn't even have a ward outside, so you couldn't even see if they were coming. That's just way too greedy from Pycat.
Yep. And I'm looking for Radiant wards here in that area, and I don't think they had vision of him walking in the pit. I think they were just kind of wary of the timing, smoked up, checked the pit. If not, they would have rotated bottom. So just smart timing from Empire.
It's not easy to steal Roches like that with a hero like Ursa or
Lycan.
Yeah, or Lycan, yeah, they just take them so fast. But those heroes are also very vulnerable. If it's a hero like TA or Juggernaut or something, those heroes are a lot more survivable if they do get caught. So
in the jungle, Gordiet's initiated on by Sexy Bambo. A lot of damage comes his way, but can't quite find the kill yet. Dazzle's rotating down, won't get there in time. 6 charges to keep the Silencer alive. Still, Bambo applying a lot of pressure here, and it takes the Silencer out of the fight. The rest of Mama's boys on their way over. Could be a buddy engagement if they try to keep Pycat safe in the road because they'll even commit the roster wards for some extra damage. Ice Shards, do scout it out. Roche at about half health. You can tell Empire really want to contest this, but not sure if they can.
Well, he actually killed this really fast.
There we go. Roche secured by Mama's boys. Ursa gets the Aegis. Now Empire We'll just have to retreat, and that's it. Well played by Mama's Boys.
And a good use of the first wards as well. I mean, Yapstor's had an amazing early game. He's got Arcane Boots like 5 minutes ago, and now he's got 1,200 gold in the bank. If he gets a really fast Blink Dagger, heroes like Quap are going to be in huge danger, because if it just becomes Shadow Shaman plus Ursa, they kill any hero with that if they both have Blink Daggers.
Yeah.
And Pycat's almost got his as well, so Empire's got to be really scared, not to mention the Silencer just hit level 5 and he's been consistently pressured by an Assassin. The longer they delay the 6 means more early fights that are going to go in Mama's Boy's advantage.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And it's kind of a pub classic, the Shadow Shaman Ursa duo, of just stacking up the Fury Swipes while you're stuck in the Shackle. And didn't really comment on it here, but it definitely has a lot of potency. Mask of Madness up on the Ursa. How close is Gorietz to 6? Nope, not close at all. He's literally 1 XP into level 5, so still a ways to go. There's the Sange on Aloha Dance, so Gyrocopter a little more tanky and could get involved in these skirmishes if need be. He does already have 2 kills and 1 assist, so he's done a good job of balancing his farm and trying to get active.
He'll be a really nice counter against Ursa if Ursa doesn't go on the Gyro, basically. So that's what it's going to come down to. There's the TP from Bambo. He actually doesn't have enough mana for a stun here.
But Yapstor is wrapping around the backside. He will have his Arcane Boots up in about 3 seconds. Aloha Dance moves into the trees, TP's out just in time. And he will live.
Yeah, I think they looked at how Dazzle was moving there, and it was pretty obvious that something was happening. On the bright side for them, they don't waste Nyx's ulti, so Nyx is still going to be able to use this to go look for kills. He's almost got Arcane Boots of his own, and in the meantime, Empire's pushing mid.
Yep, and Mama's Boys will rotate. Remember, Pycat does have the Aegis here, so he can afford to be a little more aggressive. Still no Blink Dagger, though. And that will repel Empire, at least for now. How's FN? Looks like he'll go for the Orchid first on Queen of Pain. Has that first Oblivion Staff to go with his power treads.
I think he does need this just because it allows him to pick off the heroes like Dazzle and Shadow Shaman. He needs to be able to kill those guys.
They are a little bit light on interrupts, just to stop Shackles, for example. A nice channeling disable.
Yeah, good point.
The Queen of Pain to just deal with it.
And even Orchiding the Ursa is a really good thing that you can do because it prevents him from being able to use Enrage, which is going to reduce damage. So if you're able to initiate and burst that guy down, especially with like Epicenter or Burrow Strike or something like that, it could lead to chain disables. You could Orchid into a Global Silence. It'll give them a lot of good options. But if the Shadow Shaman Blink Dagger comes out fast, then this Quap Orchid is going to be awful. He's just not going to be able to survive with it.
Yeah, Bambo farming in the jungle here, and you know, it looks like Yapstor will be able to grab his Blink around the same time Havos does. They're both sitting around 1,800 gold. Havos is about to ping level 9 as he farms in the jungle. Mid lane, an engagement might break out, but just a little ward battle for now. I think Mama's Boys will be a little more passive here until LC gets her Blink as well as Shadow Shaman. They're both really close, a lot of unreliable gold, and now would just be a bad time to die. Down bottom though, Gorietz gets jumped on by Pycat. Nice free kill. That was the Blink Dagger reveal on the bear, and does net him a +1.
The kill's so easy for Ursa. There's actually nothing that Silencer can do, and this is exactly why Mama's Boys keeps picking this hero for Pycat.
Yeah.
Because they draft against people that don't have disables. If Ursa finds Gyrocopter by himself for Silencer, he gets a kill every time.
Aloha Dance, Vendetta right into stun. Yaptor's there, ward trap. He's got the phase boots, but it doesn't matter. He's going to be stuck in there with plenty of damage to follow up. They'll finish him off. Call down, does some damage. Maybe sets up for FN. He's got a double damage rune. Sonic Wave, Bambo first, now Pycat's here. He's low on mana, but he's got the right clinch. One more, bring down FN. Yaptor gets it. Now the snowball across. Munich here, he's got the Walrus Punch. Gets another kill the other way, but it's going to cost him everything. Huge heal bomb from the Dazzle. Sets it up for Ursa. 2 for 3 with Mama's Boys finding the advantage.
Is Mama's Boys going to win our tournament, dude? Like, I don't know. They seem pretty solid right now.
Force the L1 elimination mode, so it would kind of follow suit for the way Moondog's been doing tournaments.
Man, no kidding.
They love these game modes.
It's the pub mode, dude.
Yeah,
Black does pick up his Blink Dagger. Good choice. It's definitely a different game than it was the last time he played Legion. They can go for ganks. They don't have to worry as much about death, panic, team fight stuff.
Oh, smoke here from Gorietz and Havos. They'll join the Gyrocopter with
they're going to find not where they want to be.
Oh, nice stun from Havos. Finds the space for Gorietz. But Havos, okay, they're just going to push him back. Thought they had some detection to bring him down, but looks like they didn't.
If that stun only hit one person, then that would have been dead Silencer. But yeah, luckily they did Burrow Strike both heroes. But that's a great way to break a smoke. Like, to give Mama's Boys a bit more smoke advantage. There's 2 on the courier, or sorry, 2 ready to be purchased for the Dire team. Or for Radiant team and Dire, same 2. So
once again, we'll see an Aghanim Scepter on the Ursa. He's got the point booster.
Yeah, it's pretty good. He can remove Orchid. It basically means Quap's Orchid is worthless if he buys it. It's kind of a nice counter to Orchid, actually. Orchid mids.
Yeah.
Think about it that way. Not only does it stop the Orchid from working, but it means that during those like 5 seconds you just don't die, because then you're taking 20% of the damage he deals. So it's quite good there.
And like we talked about, they're pretty light on stuns. Sand King is the main one, and if you can use your ultimate to get out of that, they don't have too much to slow him down after that.
And it actually hard counters Global Silence. It's a cool interaction there. It's like a BKB, basically, is what that item does.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool.
I didn't really think about that, but you're right.
Yeah, it stops really good. So it stops that. They'll stop Burrow Strike. It'll stop the Orchid from Quap. I think it's a pretty good Ags game. Like, people keep buying it. I think the only game that it wasn't good was the game that Arteezy bought it, because almost every other time I see a lot of value in the item. Great against Global Silence. You know, and
it also doubles the duration of Enrage, which is not insignificant. It goes from no, not Enrage. I already misread that. Oh, we'll see if O's just get destroyed. That's the first duel victory for Black. Plus 14 damage. Call down coming in. We'll clip Black. They're going to try to chase this down. It's going to be tough kills to find, except Yapso. He's going to be stuck in the tree line. He deploys the ward, and Stock's going to brave himself. Maybe buy himself a little bit of time here. It looks like he could still fall in the end, depending on how much they pursue, and they'll get it. A 3-for-1. They do get the dual damage, but far from ideal for Mama's Boys.
They were ready. They might go below 100.
Yeah, Pycat goes back in. Oh, he finally gets it. Now the snowball will come into Pycat. He's already used the ultimate, but he'll turn. He wants to try to fight Funnick here. He needs to try to back out. The DOT will not be enough, but the Ice Shards get it. Now Black locked in place, poking Funnick as much as he can. Waller's punch comes off cooldown. The lead is stick charges, but not enough. Can't survive. Now Bambo, can he come in to take out the trash? If Oath is there, connect with the stun. Bambo not quite ready for that one. He uses the spike terrible. The snowball will still connect with the stun. Mama's Boys starting to come apart at the seams here. It's just one long team fight as Yapzor comes back. Goes in onto Funnick, big damage, gets it with an auto attack, but again, it's going to cost him his life. Empire getting so much out of this. Havost ending with a double kill and just about hitting level 11.
Yeah, great fight there for Empire. It looked so good at Mama's Boys at the start because they did get that duel off. The Global Silence was wasted, but their turnaround was just so strong. They picked everybody off one by one, and definitely the last engagement. Mama's Boys clearly got outplayed there, but they kept trying to cover each other, and it led to maybe them getting a kill, but it was not good trades.
Yeah, at first it looked like just a really good pickoff, and then they could disengage, and instead it was the opposite. I'm not used to this desert map. I couldn't even realize that Yapzor had ran up into the high ground above the room and isolated himself. I thought he was going to be able to easily get away, but kind of an awkward position to put himself in.
It was, but he was trying to delay things. Unfortunately for him, there was just a bit too much damage from the gyro, and his ward didn't do that much. I also think they didn't get much value out of the dazzle. He did have to grave himself, but when you're being chased by 3 heroes, that doesn't do anything. Yeah. The fight was basically Mama's Boys trying to run, and they just kept getting picked off. And the other bad thing is that Bambo ended up dying twice there in that fight. Once at the start, and then once as he got back. And he was only a mere 300 gold away from his Blink Dagger. If he would have had that, the fight would have been so much easier.
Look at this graph here, Purge. That is a big swing. About 4K net worth. Mama's Boys had a 2K lead, and now they're at a 2K deficit. Experience graph pretty comparable. Let's see the Mama's Boys smoke up once more, but Radiant have a ward down right there. It might have just barely saw the edge of it.
Well, considering the fact that Empire's also running the enemy jungle, I'm guessing they didn't have their eyes on it at the time.
Probably doesn't matter. Both teams smoking in opposite areas of the map.
Sunset does pick up a Glimmer Cape, though. That's going to keep him pretty survivable against ganks from Nyx, as well as just Ursa jumping on him. But the tier 1 tower does fall for Empire. Mama's Boys will take that one and enjoy their new jungle.
Yeah, opens up the map a little bit. This game really, detection is a big deal now. The Glimmer Cape is out on the Silencer. Of course, there's a Nyx on one side and just the Sand King. I think gems and who's holding which will definitely be a big part of this mid-game.
It's kind of funny how mirrored they are on the map. Black might get ganked, though.
Yeah, rotation mid. Ice Shards will be off the mark, and Black will just back up. There's a Blink Dagger on the Nyx Assassin, so Sexy Bambo has a little more range here to try to initiate. And also Yapzor pretty darn close to his Aether lens, so he'll get the real Stretch Armstrong Shackles purged from far away.
Havost in a good position here. There's the first stun, a little bit of mana drain on Aloha. This tower should fall, no glyph. A couple more hits and it's going to go away. I don't know if they're ready to fight, though.
Really close, almost got that deny. Ice Shards scouting things out. Not really a great angle to initiate here for Empire. They're at the low ground disadvantage, limited on vision, and I think they're going to be forced to retreat.
Yeah, Mama's Boys is definitely a little bit scared now too. Considering how bad they lost that last fight, it was really just a couple of careless mistakes. You're not careless, but overestimations.
Yeah.
It was definitely sloppy.
4 Blink Daggers on Mama Boys, though.
Yeah, they're extremely mobile this game. That's going to be really hard for Empire to deal with. if they're ever out of position, the fight starts in a really bad way. Like this.
Out of position, Aloha dance, caught by himself. Black has the duel, Pycat has the damage. That's a winner-winner chicken dinner. Now Havos gets scouted out by Sexy Bambo. Big damage coming his way. Can they finish him off? They have the detection here. Nope. Stun from Havos to try to get away, but it's not enough. Legion Commander gets the second one up on the scoreboard, and Funnick will be forced just to back up and wait for reinforcements. Nice set of ganks here for the Mama's boys as they get a 2-0.
And that Mask of Madness is really being beneficial on this. It does so much damage.
FN caught by a Hex, but there's the global, and that'll counter the gank. Sonic Wave sets it to kill.
Bambo might get it.
Can Bambo secure this kill? This could be huge. He's got the mana burn up in 1. 2 more auto attacks. Come on, little bug, you can do it. No, you can't. 20 HP. Quap will blink into the tree line and TP home.
Man, Bambo really wanted that kill. He played it really well. He spiked Carapace, the Quap ulti, so he reflected all of that pure damage and got the stun follow-up, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, nice piece of the global as well. We'll see the mid lane here. A blink duel onto Gloriette should have the damage, and again, Black gets a victorious duel. 42 damage on him, and all the while, Pycat was just in the Roche pits, soloing that big boy. He's got himself an Aegis, and Aghanim Scepter completed. So things still coming into line here for Mama's boys, despite that sloppy fight down bottom just a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, Pycat's doing really well this game. He's not unkilled like he was the last time he played Ursa, but he's been playing really nice.
Yeah,
getting a lot of kills. He really is a huge threat to Gyrocopter. Like, it's going to be a while until Gyrocopter feels safe against Ursa. Buying a BKB doesn't make him safe. He has to get like a butterfly or something to be survivable, but he also does need BKB due to Shadow Shaman, due to Nyx Assassins. So he's in a bad place where for a very long time he has to constantly worry about the enemy carry because he's always going to be threatened at death.
Yeah. Well, that was the item progression on Gyro. He's got the SNY completed. Mithril Hammer picked up. I imagine that's going to be a BKB coming on him, even though, like you were talking about, not the end-all be-all here. Do you think Mama's boys will turn up the aggression a little bit now that they've got the second Aegis?
Definitely.
Well, as I asked that, they smoke into the jungle, so I guess so.
Like, they've got such good items, too. They've got an Aether Lens on the Shadow Shaman, for example. Like, all of his disables are going to be
Love
better.
the way they're setting this up, though. Baiting with Pycat here.
They found the good
backside. They find Gloriette. He doesn't have a global, but they'll catch him. The snowball resets, and there won't be any dual damage for Black this time. They could still find the kill. The mech has been used. Gonna take it from Gloriette survives. Now low high dance in the front line. The both channels open on the Pycat. Really limited damage output. So they do get the kill on Pycat. That's the end of the Aegis of the Immortal. They also picked up the kill on the Nyx Assassin in the back line. 1 for 1 so far, but Pycat in really deep. Saksa has the shallow grave. Now he's going to turn and try to right click. There's not much the Mama's boys can do to keep him alive. They'll have to sacrifice Pycat and turn tail and run. Snowball trying to pursue. Saksa has the grave up in 5 seconds. He'll try to TP home, but Lawless punch will interrupt, and they get another. 1 for 3, and Mama's boys lost their Aegis to boot.
Really good fight there by Empire. I thought it was going to be okay for Mama's boys because it was just an Aegis, but they lost Nyx Assassin during that little engagement as well.
Yeah.
That was game winning, honestly. The fact that they saved, well, not game winning, but fight winning, that they saved Silencer. Yeah, that snowball, man, it's so hard to deal with. And they found the best hero for them to find. I mean, sure, maybe it could have been Quap or something, but...
Gloriette, that's not the place to be. Just walks right into Black. He uses the duel. Yaptor's there, and that's just 3 damage.
He was like, look, you deserve this. I'm gonna be at the secret spot, meet you there, take my damage.
That was ambitious, to say the least. Black will be has his BKB now, actually. There's enough gold to pick it up.
I like how Black just clicked on him. I mean, he saw him coming with the ward, but he just walked straight at him. He didn't like press the attack. He didn't blink.
Yeah.
He just walked right up and was like, hello, fight me.
Wow, BKBs are plenty coming out here. Queen of Pain as well as Gyrocopter grabbed theirs, as well as Black on that LC like I just mentioned. So a lot of Magic community coming up in this next engagement.
And just a couple fights and they get so many core items and their problems are going to go away so much faster because now the BKB's finished. He just has to wait for Butterfly. Just a couple bad fights for Mama's boys and things turn around so much.
Up top, is this a solo kill for Bambo? Potentially on the FN? Vendetta?
Did he mess up with Vendetta?
I don't think he hit the Vendetta. Yeah, it was just a stun and mana burn. So just harassing. Is that probably a Dagon with that Staff of Wizardry?
It's definitely very possible. Could be Force Staff as well due to the heavy disables on Empire, and he's also been dying a lot. The silences really hurt him.
That's true.
So,
1 and 6 right now.
With that said, though, if he does get Dagon, it's going to increase his solo kill possibilities by a lot, and Bambo is probably the one player that buys Dagon them. It could be either. I'm not sure. They do need a force really bad, though. Like, look at Urso as he respawned. If he's in a bad position, nobody can save him. Grave isn't enough. They need 4 staffs and mules and stuff like that to back up heroes. So, as much as I'd like to see Bambo do crazy things, I think he's far enough behind where he has to go for force.
And there, that's the 4 staff for Havos picked up here. Pycat bumps into Aloha Dance, and we'll jump on the other side. Yeah, the Sand King on the other team.
The bug hero, the other bug hero. Yeah. I thought the same thing as soon as I saw it.
Lots of bugs this game. Yep, Basher on the way for Ursa. Just waiting for that third piece.
Yeah, good choice. It'll be a really good solution against Sand King, against Quap, all these heroes that are hard to kill. It might give them enough disable to score kills afterwards.
Yep. And makes killing the Silencer all that much easier.
Yeah, that'll help. The Glimmer Cape actually really helped him in that last fight as well.
Oh, it's actually a Yule's, it seems like, for the Nyx Assassin. He's got the Void Stone in the bank.
That's a good idea. It'll stop silences. So, and also give him some survivability. It'll buy him time in between blink daggers, for example. If you stop taking damage for half a second, then you can ult yourself and then blink afterwards.
And honestly, that extra movement speed you get, not the reason you buy the item, but it is pretty nice on Nyx Assassin. Lets you just hunt around a little more quickly.
Yeah, good point.
Good for the rotations, because he is a very active hero.
Yep, so he pretty much won't have to leave the map once he gets the Yules. He'll have plenty of mana regen. He's already got a lot of HP regen, give the heroes increase. So.
Yeah, looks like Shadow Shaman's getting a Yules as well to go with his Blink Ava lens, so he'll be able to deal that global a bit more easily. Looks like some tower exchanging though, top lane. Mama's Boys will pressure the tier 2, Blitz comes out, and same story in the bottom as Empire pressures this tier 2. Looks like both sides will just let him fall, and they'll go down pretty comparable times.
Ooh, can Black hit the duel?
Oh, Havos, they're actually going to come back to defend. I spoke too soon. Empire want to take a fight here. Orchid comes out on the stock, so they're going to try to isolate the Dazzle, but Pycat nearby. We're going to jump onto FN. He gets the bash, and the global's used, but it just doesn't matter. Still a freebie for the Mama's Boys. Doctor gets stunned out by Havos. Walling punch onto Pycat, but there's the duel. Funnel goes down. BKB used by Aloha James. This is the call down. Havos still just hanging out in the tree line, but Soxkid's still alive. That's the target they wanted. Now Havos comes in, will finish him off. Pycat getting low, has to try and turn tail and run. They should have the damage to bring him down, and they will. Havos with the Force Staff secures it. The Absol will TP out at the end. It's a 2 for 2. It's a good defense from Team Empire. They end up getting off they kill the tower down bottom, and they defend up top. Should be able to deny it. Very nice.
Yeah, Havos did a great job there. I feel like Dazzle maybe should have just Grave TP'd instead of going for the Grave runaway, because Havos was able to secure that kill, but I wasn't quite watching that fight as much as the other one, so I might be slightly wrong on that one.
It was kind of an odd fight. I think it was the Nyx. Somebody just moved into the tree line down
and
here and just TP'd out. Yep. So it was a really scattered and broken up fight for Mama's Boys.
Yeah, when I saw the first death, which was the Quap, I didn't even know which team it would be on. I was like, oh, somebody died somewhere else. There's some weird stuff happening. But killing the Quap's pretty good. Losing the Ursa afterwards, not so amazing.
The power of the Basher.
And
one bash and there's nothing the Quap can do.
It just shows the weakness of the Ursa Ags though. Like, it's great to be able to stop a disable and to break global silence with it and stuff. But if you're using it for that, then you're gonna miss some of the damage components, and you're just gonna take a lot of damage afterwards. Like, because after he kills one hero, he's just a sitting duck, and he's very easy to kite, and he's very easy to kill.
Yeah, so the gem situation, looks like it did hit the deck for Empire, but they were able to recover it. Havos grabbed it, and he's handed it back over to FN now.
Actually, a whole Aloha dance on the gyro snagged it.
Oh,
I believe. I'm not sure who was carrying it, maybe Tusk or something, but...
It's the hot potato, they've just been passing it around. Radiant Jungle, Sexy Bambo bumps into Havos, doing some harassment, but no way to find a solo kill there, and we'll just back up. I like that Bambo's constantly hunting, though, keeping eyes on the enemies and just putting pressure on them, making sure that they're that paranoia effect. You know, they're always wondering, where's the Nyx Assassin? Could he be coming?
That's how he plays, man. Like, he's constantly pressuring his opponents, making them unsure where he's going to be.
Yeah.
So they are farming less efficiently because they're standing next to each other. It's a lot of really good things he does as a player.
So Gyro, looks like he will take heed to your advice here, Purge. He's got the Eagle Song picked up, so most likely the Butterfly for some evasion. Yeah. That'll make Ursa's life more difficult. He'll most likely go MKB this game. I think Pycat's going to have to at some point.
Kind of. Evasion is really good against Ursa, but it's also in some ways slightly bad. Out of all the heroes that do heavy physical damage, he's maybe the best against it, because if you miss, it doesn't use an overpowered stack. Happen until he hits you 6 times, so it's good against Ursa, and it can make a huge difference. But
F-Bang gets jumped on by Black. Easy duel setup. Bambo's got the gem. That's a gem. That's 600 gold and more duel damage. That's the kind of kill that Mama's Boys is hoping for.
That's such a big kill. That was a BKB. It was a BKB on Black, and he's got 3K in the bank.
It's a 9-second BKB.
Wonder what he buys. Maybe AC, possibly MKB. I think an AC would be pretty solid. It would really increase their damage output. And Black's overall survivability to physical damage isn't really high right now. Not that that's a big deal. There isn't that much physical damage on Empire, but
but it would help. I think that's the perfect mix of survivability and damage output, and they're going to start to group up a little bit more. Now that we're past the 30-minute mark, team fights will be a little more prevalent. Speaking of team fights, Roche on the way, about 5 seconds till it comes up. Pycat blinks in. Oh, man, that's a little bittersweet. See if he lingers around, but this will be Aegis and Cheese, Roche number 3.
It's just such an early Roche.
Yeah. Gorietz, they're gonna find him. Black just walks into him. This time he'll use the press the attack, but easy duel, 3 damage for the LC, up to 110. This poor silencer, man. I'm starting to feel for him.
Yeah, their wards are in good places. It's gonna allow them to scout this out. They're checking for this one high ground where they will find it if they have a sentry. I don't know if they do.
He's got the gem on Dire right now. It's in the hands of Bambo. So yeah, they're gonna find all these wards.
And they saw the one that was placed over by the large camp in the Dire jungle. They will kill that.
This guy right here. Yep, there you go. Bambo will be happy with that.
Oh, that's pretty funny. If you hit the ward with your Vendetta up, it doesn't kill it for some reason.
Yeah, you don't get the extra damage.
Yeah, I like that he did use Vendetta for that though, just because it limits his opponent's ability to go for that kill.
Yeah.
Oh, they found Pycat and Roche.
It's early too. Roche still very healthy. Most of the stun on his Toxica nearby. He gets Orchided as well by the Queen of Pain, but Black uses the BKB, wants to try to find someone, but can't get a dual target. It's a wasted BKB. Snowball in on the Pycat. Weave comes out, Aloha gets caught by the roster wards, though. Global now deployed, as well as the Sonic Wave. Black could be the first casualty of this fight. Pycat still on the Roche, but he will finish it off. Aegis does not get snatched. He goes into the hands of the Ursa. Aloha Dan's trying to man up and fight here. She's ended up somewhere, I'm not sure, but Aloha Dan's getting very low. He eats it just in time, and now Pycat grades up, will go down. It's the end of the Aegis. Bambo lingering nearby, just trying to fight near the roster wards. They've got a sentry ward down, so he needs to be careful. Blink, stun on 2, trying to make space for Pycat. Big damage onto Aloha Dan, but it's just not enough. Now he gets counter stun, doing damage to both, but there's the 4th step away. Shallow grave by Pycat. Gets the bash onto Aloha Dan. Gets the kill before he can go into the snowball. Ursa ends up dying, but maybe they can still clean this up. Bambo dies, and it's not happening. Empire take the fight. They burn the Aegis 1 for 4. They're going to get 1 for 5. They finish off Dazzle as well. It's a disaster for Mama's boys.
They just should have let the Ursa die, man. I didn't even see where Black died in the fight, but there was some engagement on the left side of the Roche pit, but they just kept the Ursa in there. They did get the gyrocopter, but there's no way that's worth it overall.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice play to get the Ursa before you get into the snowball. Lucky bash there. But rather ambitious for the Ursa to just run in. It's sort of like you mentioned earlier. You need to have some kind of a distraction, some way to know that that's safe. You either have eyes on Empire and you know they're too far away to contest, or you try to push somewhere else to take their attention.
And it was just made so much harder because Pycat did it during a greedy time. A lot of his teammates had just been on the other side of the map clearing observer wards and stuff like that. And I'm sure that Empire saw that. They said, okay, they cleared our wards. It means we can go check Roche as a team, and they won't necessarily be 5.
Yeah.
And they were able to play with Pycat and take a long time to kill him. And that cheese that Gyro used was equivalent to an Aegis as far as I'm concerned. In a lot of ways better.
That fight would have been completely different. Didn't have it. He would have died right away. His damage output would have been mitigated, and
then he would have still had Aegis. He would have killed him before he used his Aegis. Instead, it took like 2 lives to pick him off because there were so many stuns and like 3 heroes.
Yeah. Well, Bambo's now picked up the Ghost Scepter on Nyx Assassin. You don't see him grab those defensive items nearly as often.
It's pretty neat. I think it'll be for Knee Blade, most likely, is the way he usually plays it. Oh, he's going to duel at close.
Yep. Catches him. They should have the damage for another duel victory. Pycat comes in and will make it happen. Now FN uses the BKB to try to make the escape. Does have some TP scrolls. Might be able to make it out. Walrus Punch onto Pycat. They use the Global, the Sonic Wave, and Pycat completely isolated. It was him versus 3 with Bambo in the tree line. And what started as a good quick kill.
Oh, they got Black
1
too.
for 2. Oh no, Black almost TP'd out in time, but they had the damage for it.
If Black actually had a plate mail there, he wouldn't have died, no matter what. Like, he's got 3,800 gold in the bank now. I think he really needs to spend this.
Yeah.
Like, he got a duel off, and that was great. It was a good initiation, but their whole team was there.
Yeah. And Mama's boys were completely split. They really thought that would just be a quick pick, and then they could back out. Yapsor blinks out just as Punic tries to pursue. Ice Shards will scout it out. Can he get in there and try to interrupt the TP? Yes, he can. Walrus Punch to follow up. Yeah, there's support on the way. Gyrocopter will be here, and I don't think yet. Oh, he didn't get the providing this one. Yep, Ice Shards. There's
should be able to, maybe.
Buys him a little bit of time. He blinks out. The great chase continues. Ice Shards coming up in about 2 seconds, and now I think he's definitely going down. The Glaives on the way, and Gyrocopter will get the last auto attack.
Empire's, they're just controlling mid game so much better.
Mid lane, gank onto FN. It's Sexy Bambo with a solo kill.
That was a huge kill. He just got 800 gold for that one.
Yeah.
That actually saved their racks, in my opinion. maybe not saved the whole racks, but that would have been 5 heroes up, 3 dead Mama's Boys. At the least, it would have been a 5v4 with no Shadow Shaman, and getting that kill was so big.
A lot of gold for him.
He kind of messed up the previous fight, though. He didn't get the stun off on the Quap. They go in, though.
Oh, they missed the stun on the Glorious. We will go into Glimmer Cape. Aloha Dance on the backside. Gets dueled by Black. I don't know why it's the duel that Black wanted. He's taking a lot of damage here. Meanwhile, on the other side, Bambo hit by the Walrus Punch. A really chaotic fight for Mama's Boys. Their damage is completely split. Bambo, the first one to go down. Black is still alive, but very low on HP. Pycat forward 1-on-3. Does so, or 1-on-4 rather. Okay damage to Aloha Dance, but it seems like Mama's Boys are kind of falling apart at the seams here, Purge. That was a really weird fight.
And Havos is just making sure that Ursa does nothing. He just keeps burrow striking him. He stuns him for 2 seconds, waits 9 seconds, and stuns him again. And
yeah.
Every time Ursa tries to fight somebody, it's just not quite working out. This Eggs hasn't paid off at all.
Yeah, they'll get this tier 2 tower in the mid lane. Buyback from Bambo comes straight away. Ursa doesn't have one. He'll be in the grave for about 50 seconds, but with Quap down, Empire won't go for the high ground. There's still one outer tower remaining up top. They'll clear out the dire jungle and then go back to their side of the map. Gyro now up to about 4,500 gold after that fight. He's had the butterfly for some time.
Well, at least Black does have some of his AC components there, and the duel was kind of good because it delayed Gyro's damage, but on the opposite side of the fight, it was just a Nyx Assassin and Ursa trying to deal with 3 heroes, and they need Shadow Shaman involved in that because they need lockdowns.
They need lockdowns. They could also have used the damage from the wards there.
Yeah, that might have helped. It's not very high damage just yet because he doesn't have eggs, but
he is level 16 though.
He's looking for kills here. Who's coming? It's Bambo. These two definitely can kill Queen of Pain. There's no way they couldn't.
It will be the Assault Kuros coming out on the Legion Commander now. Has the 2 expensive pieces, the Hyperstone and the Plate Mail. So coming up right around the corner here. Look at this gold graph, man. It really speaks to this game, how back and forth it's been. Empire taking the biggest advantage we've seen yet of only 5k net worth at 37 minutes. Just speaks to how close it's been.
And I think it's really been Empire just playing well from behind, and Mama's Boys is playing kind of poorly in their decision making sometimes.
They played well in the early game, but now they're getting maybe a little cocky. I don't know if that's the right word here, but it seems like these team fights, they are sort of just running at them and not quite on the same page with, are we all committing to this, or are we just going for a pickoff? They will get a tier 2 tower down bottom, drop the wards, but it's probably costing their tier 2 up top.
Yeah, certainly will. The first fight that they lost was definitely like that. They played very overly aggressive, and it didn't work out very well. And now Gyrocopter has this big butterfly advantage, and Mama's Boys needed to push their advantage before he gets that. But now his net worth is a whole item ahead of what Ursa has. And Ursa can't compete with this yet. He doesn't even have Abyssal, and now their Rax is getting pressured.
Yeah, Satanic can definitely be scary. They're chipping at the tier 3. Still 2 heroes down bottom. You have to throw TP's home. Pycat's going to hang around a little bit longer to pressure that tower, though he does have a TP scroll ready. They put some damage onto Aloha Dance. They hex him up, and they just take a few tower shots. They've already taken this tier 3 down to about half HP. And with that, Pycat will just start to back up from the bottom lane. Look at that positioning from Havos, though, man. He is ready to drop that epicenter on the whole team.
Yeah, he's in a really good spot. And he's got Echo Link, so he can burrow strike a little bit farther than everybody.
Yeah. So if they got him out, this could be disastrous. Looks like they'll be okay for now. Burrow strike on the way, or epicenter. A little lackluster. Bambo gets off the spike Carapace, and now the real fight will break out. Global's used, some BKBs deployed. Sonic Wave doing pretty good damage. Mama's Boys getting pushed back to the well. Sasuke forced the grave himself, and that will put Black in the grave. No way to save him. They go back to the tier 3 tower. No glyph. Backdoor protection, but then tries to they just wanted the Sand King. Pycat gets it back. Now they're going on the punish. Did pretty good damage with the Walrus Punch. Now into the Snowball. Will buy some time. Duel's used by Gapsor, but it's not enough. Ursa's going to go down, and now the Shadow Shaman should be isolated. He puts Shackles onto FN, but it will cost him his life. Nice stun from Sexy Bambo. I think they're just delaying the inevitable here, though. Purge Empire doing so much damage. Now the buyback from Pycat. They're running out of resources. They will have to retreat. Glorious could possibly get left behind here. He gets off the Glimmer Cape, but they've got detection. The Sentry Ward comes down, and they will chase him down to finish off the kill. So Mama's Boys do hold on to their barracks. They lose a tier 3 tower, but it was costly. They had to burn 1 buyback on the Ursa, and they certainly did not win the fight in terms of net worth.
Yeah, they definitely lost the fight a little bit, but they did defend, so it's okay, I think. I think they're happy going even. If they can just push the waves out a bit more and get more map control, then that's going to lead to more Bambo kills.
Yeah.
His Impale stun was fight winning there when it caught those 2 heroes. And Pycat is getting some kills, but the armor items continue for the raiding team.
Yeah, Legion Commander, 128 plus damage, but feels like Black has just not had a big presence in these last few fights.
Well, I think part of the issue is that they're 2 physical cores, the Legion and the Ursa. They just...
Oh, this is the stun on Aloha Dance.
They're just very countered by the survivability that Empire has.
Mm-hmm.
Any butterfly carrier is going to be a problem for those two guys because neither of them really wants to build an MKB. They're not the kind of carries that can fit a damage item in the early game like that. They need Abyssal Blade, Basher, AC on Legion Commander, plus BKB, plus Blink Dagger. So it's hard to deal with the Gyro now that they got behind.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a Lincoln's now in Queen of Pain as well, so that's going to limit Bambo. It's going to limit Duel a little bit.
Yeah. They do have Poison Touch to try to break the Lincolns, but they are pretty light on just those small spammable spells that quote-unquote don't really matter to break the Lincolns.
Well, Dazzle's also been able to pick up Guardian Greaves. He's looking pretty farm for a 40-minute game, whereas before he didn't look very strong. But level 3 Weave now, he can give his team a ton of armor. The Poison Touch is basically at least a 1-second stun every 7 seconds. His disables are actually pretty solid now, and he doesn't have to worry about silence as much as he did previously in the fights. If they can just have another fight where Epicenter falls pretty flat, Ursa does ultimately go MKB, by the way. He just really needed it. It's actually not terrible on Ursa. You attack so fast that if you get a couple mini bashes, you could actually get incredible damage. It's kind of like a crit here. They might fight.
They're going to move in. Empire trying to steal the Dire Ancients. They'll use the Weave to scout out the pit. Roche is not up yet, but he's coming in a couple seconds. Whoever wins this fight could be rewarded with Roche number 4. This is a pretty important time.
Losing Weave was pretty big there. They could have caught some big heroes.
Yep.
Minus
Empire's
15 armor would be so good.
Aloha Dance will just start chipping at Roche, but they definitely don't want to commit to this. They know Mama's boys are up on the high ground. Looking at Vision, both teams very limited, no wards down from either side. FN will blink to the high ground. I guess Empire will have a small advantage with the frozen sigil.
Bambo's behind. With it. They could go on Havost here.
Yep, roster wards have come down into the
He's going to try to duel him. They're going to go on him in a second.
Here we go. Havost isolated up on the high ground, and there's the duel. The global silence just comes out a little bit too late. Sonic Wave does big damage, though. They finish off Yapdor. Pycat gets graved, although really low. Now they'll be able to finish off Dazzle after he gets orchided, and Pycat will definitely go down. This could be the end of Mama's boys after that. 3 heroes down, no buybacks. Roche will definitely go the way of Empire at this point after a 1-for-3 fight.
I just don't agree with Pycat going in there while they also duel off the Sand King.
Yeah.
I think he had to wait for the counter initiation. He just doesn't have a BKB. He can't be the frontliner. It only works for 4 seconds.
It's a great play to isolate the Sand King, but the whole point of that is to give you an advantage before the fight starts, 4v5. And if you take the fight like that, where you have 2 heroes committed to kill the Sand King, and then it's a 3v4 on the other side, you don't really get that number advantage that you're hoping for.
Especially when one of your carries is one of the ones dueling on the other guy. It's like Ursa is backed up by a Dazzle and a Shadow Shaman versus a Quap who's really more farmed than anybody in Mama's Boys, a Gyro that's more farmed. Like the gold advantage clearly wasn't there. I think what they should do is they should have sat back as they went on the Sand King and counter initiated as Empire is about to initiate on those 2 heroes. Instead, they both went at the same time. I think they were scared about Roche being low or something.
Yeah.
And just Ursa, despite having a great early start, just kept putting himself in a position where he gets chain stunned and wastes his enrage and didn't have a BKB.
Yeah. This is a really scary time for Mama's boys. The Boast comes back. He has BOT, so he can get right back into the fight. He'll go to the mid lane. There are no buybacks available for Mama's boys. They will have the Ursa up in about 30 seconds. Mid lane of barracks have already gone down. The top lane going down quickly as well. Melee barracks get destroyed, and if Mama's boys don't lose here, this will at the very least be some crippling damage. They find sexy Bambo outside of the base, though. He's out of the game for 80 seconds. Ursa's still down for 20. This is rocky stuff, Purge.
Yeah, that could just lose them the last racks here.
Yeah, this could very well be Megas. I don't see how they kill Aloha Dance once, let alone twice. He's got the Aegis, Satanic, and BKB.
God, that's hard to kill.
Oh, outside of the base. Who do they catch? It's the Dazzle. This will buy them a little bit of time on the barracks. Ursa will be up. He uses the Grave, TP out, and he'll live. Pretty clutch play from Soxscale.
It buys them a little bit of time here. They're going to have to fight 4v5. If they can do this, they can hold the game on, but it's still going to be hard.
Blip is used now. Tier 3 tower's already gone down. No Tier 3 towers remaining. It's just naked barracks. The most goes in, tries to catch Black, but he BKBs. The global comes out after. He can't duel like he wants to. Black is going to be completely isolated here. He gets destroyed. He's got the buyback. He'll use it. Nick's Assassin has gold for his now as well. The most channeling the ulti goes into the Pycat, but it's the other way around. Pycat will bring him down. This is the big fight they need. Aloha Dance getting low. They'll finish him off. He's got the Aegis as well as they're getting kills back up. They're really starting to pick up the kills now. Quap isolated off to the side with the Yule Scepter. She gets dueled and she comes back down. They're going to find the kill there as the gem hits the deck. They get the silence on the back line. Aloha gets that back right away as he attacks. He may fall as well the most of the stun, but they'll interrupt it. They've got the detection of the Yules. It's going to be a 5-man wipe. Mama's boys hang on. They have to burn all their buybacks, but they hold the base.
2 heroes without buyback on Empire, though, so they can definitely get some lane pressure here.
Look at that gold swing. Oh my god.
Pretty big. The experience change. Look at that. 15,000 experience. How many levels did they just get? Dazzle's 18. Ursa's 24, for God's sake.
That was insane.
That was actually insane. Yeah. I can't believe they won that fight. They played it so well.
So what's the play at this point, though, Perch? That was still a lot of damage. They have one ranged barracks left, no tier 3s, still have quite a few safety structures in the base, but is this the point where you just go all in mid lane, hope they're in short a couple of buybacks, and just go right for the throne?
You got to have one person defend. The problem is Dazzle doesn't have boost to travel, so he actually isn't going to be in the next fight. I mean, they may just not even buy buybacks. I think they're just going to wait for everybody to respawn. I think that might be safer than trying to buyback defend this. Wait for everyone to respawn, let Mama's boys get a Rax, maybe work on a second Rax, which they probably won't get. I feel like Mama's boys have to try to get a second Rax here in some ways.
One is just
they have to.
Yeah. Use the roster wards down bottom. He's already cleared out mid lane. That's the glyph for Empire. All 3 heroes dead right now are without buyback. So we'll give 15 seconds before they can really take the fight. This will cost them at least 2 lanes of barracks at this point. Funnick and Gloria will not engage. They're just going to try to focus them, do whatever shit damage they can. And that's 2 lanes of barracks.
So big for Mama's boys. Getting 2 racks like that without losing anybody is massive. They get back now. The lanes are basically equal. The 1 racks that they have left, which is a ranged barracks, they have a slight advantage in that lane, which helps as well. Which means they mostly only need to focus on top and mid.
Yeah.
So if they win the next fight, it's going to force Empire to buy back. And then if they can win the fight after that, they can win the game. So they got to win 2 fights in a row to take this.
Yeah, and that's going to be really hard. And remember, they don't have buybacks.
They actually do. They've got 3.
They do?
They've got one on Ursa, Shadow Shaman, and Dazzle.
Oh, wow, you're right.
If Ursa buys Abyssal Blade, he bought a BKB. He's said screw buybacks.
So Ursa's all in now.
I mean, he needed this, honestly. He's needed this all game. But he can win the fight now. If he can blow up Sand King or Tusk, for example, permabash these guys, he can win the fight.
Yeah.
But they're going for the range backs.
Aloha dance in the front lines. The mid lane is going to push in. That might break the backdoor protection. Remember, there's no glyph here. He's got the Lincolns on. It's done in panic right now. Oh, the snowball to reset. There's nothing to slow down. FN pops the BKB, drops the ulti as well. They managed to keep him alive. Aloha dance will live. BKB's uses, they finish off down. All he got to do is the buyback. He gets schooled in red. Block down. He does have the buyback. They're using straight away. The range barracks getting low. They just need to finish it off, but they might not be able to do that. You're a high cat on the back. The snowball keeps him alive. Now FN still in forward, will finish off the Shadow Shaman. He buys back as well. Highcap isolated, very, very low. He's dead. He's got a buyback though. He's ready to get back in the fight. They'll finish off Funnick, but they lost the barracks. Oh, the Shackle! That's the stretch Armstrong Purge. Here we go. Aloha dance. Can he make it out here? Both get brought down. He's not surviving whatsoever. Mama's boys might maybe have just done it. They're mega. Oh, go all in now.
All right, I think they got this, man. No doubt for 111. The only people that can buy back are Tusk and Soundser. So, and they can't just like TP in and backdoor. They're not going to win with that. Like, they're going to buy booster travel on everybody. They're going mid, and they're just going to throne it. They've got at least 56 seconds until the first hero respawns, other than those 2 buybacks.
And they can absolutely make it. Dazzle's the perfect hero to push the wave like this. You can keep your creeps alive, do big damage to those. I think Mama Boys have done it.
I think they won as well. They're going for the push. Here comes BOTs from Black, and they can kill any of these heroes. They've all got blink daggers. They can do blink stuns into duels. That's a dead hero. That's 5.5 seconds of disable.
Yeah.
They all, like, Bambo's going top to just split push the wave. He doesn't even care, man.
Funnick gets caught. He gets hacked. Shackle. Highcat goes in. But then the double duel as well. Lotus Storm not going to save you from that one. Black double rewarded there, 218 damage. Roster wards come down.
It's just over.
It's done. Glorious is going to stand here and watch his throne.
They've got 15 seconds actually. In about 20 seconds, Pop and Sand King will be up, but no, the throne's undefended. It just ends. They won it.
Empire's out.
Oh my god. All right, so they go from winning the game to kind of playing poorly and throwing the game, and then at the end they're like, no, this is our game. We're taking the win. What a sick game, back and forth.
Wow. The lower bracket, folks, and these teams are certainly playing like it. Mama's boys take game number 1.